Hi, this is Justin G8YTZ with a little bit of update on the receive inputs for GB3JV. So this is how we're doing. What we've got here is I'm transmitting on 437 megahertz, and this is like a repeater output in effect in the shack. So I'm transmitting on 437 megahertz, and that's what we're receiving off the mini mod. Here's the mini mod. You can see it running here at the minute. It's running DVS. This is quite an old one. So it's only got the DVB-S software on it, and I've got that fed into the transport stream input from a dual NIM DVS and S2, and this I've actually got two receive antennas. Both tuners are actually tuned for the same frequency, which happens to be 1249 in this case, and DVS2 as it happens. So I'm going in S2, out with S. So that's all working after a fashion. What's supposed to happen is this. You're supposed to control the tuner from the mini mod, and when you select the tuner input, it's not having it. So there's obviously a firmware issue, and it is on 0.7 this board, so that may well be the issue. Just to show you the rest of the test setup, I'm actually transmitting from the ports down, and there's a right old mess. There's an Align Mini there, so that's the transmitter, and that's transmitting on 1249. If I go out of that, there we are. S2 1249. Let's have a test card instead. Put my call sign out a bit. It's only milliwatts, mind you. I'm transmitting milliwatts. So right now that's transmitting the test card now. Okay, so let's go over here. What have we got here? We've got a satellite receiver here, and this is actually receiving the 1249. There it is. It's just the line's just burst into life. We've got 1249, and that's being transmitted by the Line Mini, and that's being received on the dual NIM here, actually on both tuners. Transport stream through to the mini mod. Mini mod set to 437 megahertz, and that's the output there on 437 megahertz. So this is basically a mock-up of the repeater setup. The only difference in the repeater is that I've got a mux as well. So one receiver will go into one side of the mux, the other receiver will go into the other side of the mux, and that could either be two separate channels, or it could be one that switches to the strongest signal. So that's kind of how I'm sort of working it through. Of course, the two receivers can be on a separate frequency, and might even consider that. So I haven't quite worked that all through in my head yet, how I'm going to do it, but at least it's working. We have a repeater working, on the bench. So I just need to sort this software bug out now, and but this is more than I had working a couple of months ago, and that's why the repeater went on in sort of beacon mode until I got the receivers sorted. And to be honest, it gives people lots of time to actually get their receive side sorted out. Then we put the receivers on the repeater, and then hopefully people will be sorted on the receive side, then they can get sorted the transmit side. So it kind of is method in the madness, but hey, this does seem to be working, which is actually quite pleasing. I think what we're going to end up on the repeater, as I originally said, we'll probably go to 8 PSK and have two transport streams. We'll have one which is the HD channel, and we'll have one which is the SD channel. The SD channel effectively be the repeater function, but the HD channel will become another repeater input, or multiple inputs in fact. So the idea is you can actually run it, you can have two sets of people running through it. What I can do is if I just put the test card on, and something static on the HD channel, then I can turn the bit rate right down to allow more for the SD channel. So that's what we're thinking. Actually, I say SD, and I think we should be able to relay more or less whatever comes through. I might turn the other input down to one megasyllable per second as well. That'll give people more chance to actually get into it. Anyway, there we are, little update. Been a great lift on today. I'll tell you what, I've been you know, working a few people. I've had the Ham Radio Deluxe up and what have you. I must apologise for the mess in my shack. You know what it's like when you're doing stuff. There's a few other things here. This is actually a DPT tuner, but there's a decoder there as well. There's a MPEG 2 decoder as well. That's probably something else I can use in the repeater, but yeah, at least it's working anyway. You know, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Just to remind you once again, that's the 1249 that the Lime is transmitting on. 1249 from the ports down in the Lime through to the dual NIM tuner with aerials on the back there, into the transport stream out of that into the mini mod, and that's transmitting on 437. So somewhere, if I go into here, modulation, let's have a look. So yeah, 437. That's what we're transmitting on the mini mod. And as you can see, the output of that's on the mini tuner. So the other great thing about this is actually I'm doing a real test. People are probably going to be using port stands to fire RF at the repeater, and they're probably going to be using mini tuners to pick it up. So it's kind of like quite a good test of that everything's working well together. So I'm really pleased about it. Well, the other thing I did, I've sorted out my satellite distribution. So now, if I click, and obviously it moves over to the B inputs here. If I do that, then you'll see that, mind you, it's always breathtaking whether this stuff's going to work for you, isn't it? You know, there we are. There's the output of the repeater, and that's just coming off my satellite distribution system now. I've got an L&B into the loft box. And I'm just, the mini tuner's connected to the satellite distribution, as are two more TVs and a sat finder actually in the dining room. So yeah, that's another little thing I sorted out today. Got quite a nice signal. Funnily enough, is the loft box doesn't have a lot of gain. I've turned the gain up maximum, and I know it's splitting 8 ways, but I've got to say the best signal I can get off this is about 40%, but of course the quality is 100%. You know, so nothing wrong with the carrier to noise ratio. It's just the RF levels aren't particularly high according to the TV sets, but it looks all right on the mini tuner. It must have a more sensitive receiver. But anyway, and it's also streaming to the website. Good grief, yeah. So if I switched it off a few minutes ago because I was playing with other stuff, but if I bring up my FFmpeg, I've got a special JV script there. We do that, I get quite a few errors and things, but hey, it does work. It's a bit glitchy. Oh, it's actually looking quite nice at the minute. Oh, that's cool. I'll leave that alone and do its stuff. So that's now streaming onto the BATC website, and so yeah, pretty pleased with that. There's no reason actually, if I want to stream to the BAT website, if we go back to 437, we can go back to my sort of faux in on 23, out on 70 repeater in the shack. It's only running milliwatts, but there you go, there it is. Oh, all the best for now, and hope you find this quick update useful. G8YTZ, off and clear.